What's up, guys? So the video you're looking at right now, the Prelude, this was taken probably about 2 to 3 weeks before I decided to finally sell it and get the Civic. Selling the Prelude definitely wasn't the easiest choice, but it was at the same time. Before I get questions about on why I sold the Prelude, there's a video in my channel somewhere on why I sold it. I'll probably put it in the description below so you guys can go watch that if you want. Right here, this is me and my homie looking at the Civic for the second time, because the first time I had said no and I was very iffy on getting the Civic. So we went to go look at it a second time, which is this. And when I first got the car, it was very iffy, the interior was very bad. It was low-key kind of clapped. But here's a couple videos of it, when I first got it. It was funny, when I first got the Civic, I got a lot of, BS for it. Because, I had a Prelude before this. And I truly do get it. Going from a Prelude to a Civic, it kind of is a downgrade. But in the long-term run, the Civic was such an upgrade. And I had gotten a Civic. That was the original plan. But finding a Civic for a decent price and for a decent condition was so hard to do. And so the Prelude popped up, and so I decided to get the Prelude. It was my first choice, but it is what it is, and it's what I got. Okay. Enough about the Prelude. Let's get on to the Civic. I was able to pick up this Civic for $2,500. It was around this time I had finally decided to buy some cosmetic things for the Civic, like a lip, DRL headlights, a spoiler, and that was about it, because at the time I didn't really have a whole lot of money, so I could only do simple things. And my biggest priority when I first got the Civic was to make this look a lot better, because the paint was faded, the car looked very bad. I didn't like the way it looked, I didn't like the way it sat, so I wanted to change that, and little by little it did get there. So headlights, spoiler, and the lip helped it a lot. Thanks to two of my friends in the video that did help me. It was hot as heck this day. It was like 115, 114. It was very hot. Did not enjoy that, but shout out to these two for helping me. It was around this time I finally started liking the Civic cosmetically. And that's when I finally decided to get crystal clear taillights. Not really get them, more like I had to make them myself. And let me tell you, that was not a fun process. I'm not gonna lie, after it was all put together and put on the car, I was dumbfounded because of how good it looked for me making my own taillights for the first time. It looked really good. I have silver doors in the black car. When I got the car, both regulators on the car were bad. The passenger side wouldn't go down, and the driver's side one, I forgot, honestly, but it was bad. I got the silver doors because I wanted my windows to roll down, and the ones I could find for a decent price and for what I was able to afford were manual doors, which honestly I don't mind to this day. And if you noticed in these recent clips that I'm showing, this Civic has new wheels. I had sold my Adavids, and my homie let me use his Del Sol stocks. I honestly rocked this Del Sol stocks for a little while until I can afford different wheels. And at this time, big shout out to my homie for letting me use the stocks for as long as I did. Real one right there. Because it took me a while to finally sell my old Adavids, or trade them, I should say. If you notice, I finally decided to paint the doors black to match the car because I got tired of the silver. And it was at this time I really liked the Civic. I liked the way it was sitting. Everything about it I was really liking. It was at this point in time that the Civic was sitting on the Del Sol stocks for so long, I kind of got tired of them. And this is when I was able to finally get tires for the new wheels I had. For those wondering, the tire size was 205/50. The wheel specs were 15x7 with a 35mm offset. After I finally got the new tires, the new wheels on and everything, I was in love. I love the Civic. It was great. This is when I finally did some customization work with the taillights, because over time I started to notice when I did the taillights and I did the work, I noticed a lot of scratches and a lot of other stuff. I didn't like that. So I wanted to do some like 300ZX type taillights, some futuristic type taillights. It looked good for a little bit, and then I got tired of that. After getting tired of the taillights, I finally decided to get some OEM EM1 taillights, aka candy canes. At this point in time, the Civic practically stayed like this for a while. And I mean a while. Because I really didn't know what else to do. Until I saw cut fenders, and that's what I wanted to do with this. And so that's why I decided to do with the fenders. So I finally decided to do the fenders and cut them and put, the curve into them. And from here on out, the Civic stayed like this. I really didn't do anything else. Kind of stayed bland in my opinion. I didn't do anything crazy until I really painted the car. But until then, this all stayed. This is when I finally started doing interior work, actually. This is finally when I installed my Corbu bucket seats, my Momo steering wheel, my door panels. And this is when I started gutting the car, quote unquote, taking out the back seats, taking out, the seat belts. And then about a week later, I finally decided I'm tired of this paint. I'm tired of it. I want to paint this car. I want to do this. Let's do it. And so that's what I finally did. And for those asking how long it took me and how many days I did this in 2 days. I took a lot of inspiration from Simple Builds. He really inspired me to find a site to paint the car, get everything to paint the car, which big and huge shout out to him. I would have not thought about painting this or doing this if it wasn't for him and his video, so big shout out to him. This was the first time I was ever doing my own Bondo work, my own sanding, my own primering. I was doing everything by myself. I was so excited. When I was finished and painted everything, when I took a step back and I had looked at all of it, I was like, wow, I did that. And let me tell you, my face was just ecstatic. Like, this was an amazing feeling. It was awesome. If there's one thing I do regret is not keeping the wheels white and painting them bronze. But oh well. I always thought a white car with a bronze wheel always is good, and I wasn't wrong. But the white on white would have looked so much better. After painting the car, this is when I finally started taking videos, and was not afraid to take videos during the day. Because when the car was black, I was so afraid to take videos during the day because of how bad the paint was. After painting the car and looking at it, I was like, this car needs tint. Tint will make this car look so much better in every way. And so that is what I did. It was around this time I added a big spoiler simply because I just wanted to experiment and have fun with it. A lot of my followers didn't like it, which is, I could care less. I just wanted to experiment with it. It looked really good and aggressive with the way the car looked at the time, especially after I added the exhaust. This was the time I took off the big spoiler to put the SI wing back on. And I'm not going to lie, it looked a lot better. And this is when I finally did the cut bumper thing. It was very controversial. Some people liked it, some people didn't. I liked it, and that's all I really cared about, and that's all that mattered.
Well, here we are.
This is when everything started changing with the Civic. This is when I really went all Kanjuzoku, all out. After doing a lot more research of what Kanjuzoku is and what it's about, and that's when I was like, I need stickers. I need the no good sticker. I need it all. I need to have the mismatched wheel colors. I need to go all out. And this is when I decided I want to get PCI side skirts. I don't have any videos of me installing the side skirts, the PCIs, but let me tell you how annoying they were. They were just not fun to do. The amount of measuring, the readjusting to put them on, it was just annoying. The Civic pretty much stayed like this. I think all I really did was just paint the mirrors and change the wheels, and that was it. Like, I had red up front and then white up in the back, and I did all red, and then I did all white, and it just stayed like this for the longest time until I changed it up again. And then this is when I found out about Red Bull Civics, and so I got myself a Red Bull livery. And then I decided to get some tire lettering to complete the Kanjizoku look.